Welcome to Gallery Watch. We're at Gallery 9x5 in Fremantle, which is holding an exhibition of paintings by Jeremy Holton entitled Flowers for Freo. Let's see some of the paintings and talk to the people who have come here tonight.
I know Jeremy quite well, and I've met him a few times, and he's a terrific artist, as you can see. I came here tonight to buy something like that, which is an original, and that was in the Artist magazine, and I bought that painting. So I came here tonight wanting to buy this painting.
Have you not seen any other paintings that you'd like to purchase?
Yeah, quite a few actually. It makes sure my bank account though stands up to it. But I quite like the. In fact, there's one around the back there, which is very similar design. Not as bright, not as startling, but a very nice painting. So yeah, tonight I'll be making a purchase.
And have you been collecting Jeremy's paintings for quite a while?
4 years.
4 years.
So I have 1, 2, 3, 5 of them.
Are they all landscapes?
No, they're one is floral, one is more kind of should we say decor type, and then of course the Swan River. These are all paintings. 3 of them are paintings of the Swan River, and they are parts of the Swan River that Jeremy just looks at. He thinks, I can do this. He sits, he charcoals them, and then he paints them.
In the time you've been collecting Jeremy's paintings, has his style changed at all?
Yeah, quite, I think fairly dramatically actually, because as I say, he started off by painting the Swan River, the houses and the little bays on the Swan River, but now he's going over to more floral, more kind of embellished type of paintings, as we can see, and possibly more pastel shades rather than the actual very deep, coloured artwork. So yeah, I guess he is changing quite a bit. We'll be talking to him about that.
Thank you very much for talking to us.
My pleasure.
Enjoying the exhibition?
It's absolutely fantastic. I just think it's just so incredibly vibrant. Yeah, it's just got so much life to it. The colours, I'm just thinking, wow.
Seen anything that you'd like?
A lot. I love the Little Red Ship. I think Little Red Ship's is gorgeous, but also inside the Pilbara painting of the lady gardening and the flowers becoming birds and vice versa. It's so clever.
What do you think of the paintings tonight?
They're fantastic. Yeah, I wish I could buy one. But yeah, maybe next time. But yeah, no, they're amazing. They're really bright colours and they really grab you. And yeah.
Is there any particular painting that you like more than others?
Oh, I like the one around the front actually. The one with the it's just around the corner with the pink and the reds and the really kind of deep colours. Yeah.
That's the landscape.
No, the flowers. I don't know if you can...
The flowers
around the corner.
Thank you for talking to us. What do you think about this painting?
This one in particular, I'm not really into flower paintings, but I do love the work. I just bought that painting up there. My husband and I just bought the painting. It's called Only.
So shall we go and have a look? I think that one?
Yes.
Ah, right. Can I ask why you chose this one?
My husband and I have been looking around for art for a new house that we built in Yallinga. Whenever the two of us agree on a painting and both go, oh, we like that one, we grab it. Not that we've bought that much art, but a lot of the time the stuff that we both like has sold quickly, so we went up to the counter, bought it straight away, and within 10 minutes of buying it, 2 couples came up to us and said, oh, we wanted to buy that one. So we've learnt you've got to get in there quick.
So what was it about this particular landscape that you liked?
I can't really explain it. It's just more of looking at the picture, just like that gentleman, his name is Bob, I believe. He was saying, people say I don't know much about art, but I know what I like. I'm more, I know I like something when I see it. So we both saw it, said that's wonderful, and bought it.
What do you think of this painting?
Beautiful.
Gorgeous. We absolutely love the colours, the combination of blue and red and orange.
Are there any other paintings here that you like?
I haven't actually seen all of them yet, but there is one other one down the end there. I can't remember the name of it, but that's got a similar combination of colours and a progression of colours as well. So that's lovely. Yeah, that's got flowers. So this one here is beautiful as well.
Yeah, that one's sunshine.
Oh, okay.
Thank you very much for talking to us. Have you found a painting in the exhibition that's your favourite, or one that you prefer?
Yes, actually I do. This one over there, the blue with the blue background, I don't know what's it called, but I really like it. There's a nice light in there, in this blue. And I think if somebody buys this painting, he have lots of fun at home with this thing.
Why do you say that?
Oh no, I like it. I wouldn't buy it, but I don't have enough money for this, but I think it's a very nice piece.
And have you seen Jeremy's work before?
No.
So what made you come here tonight?
I walked past and I saw the crowd, and I remember I got an invitation actually in my email, but I forgot about it because I've been in Perth doing something else, and then I walked past and so I came in here. So yeah.
So do you think you'll come to another one of Jeremy's exhibitions?
Yes, of course. I will.
Good. Thank you very much.
No worries, thank you.
Bob Booth, who is a director of the gallery and also an artist. Bob, I believe you know Jeremy and you've followed his work. Could you tell me a little bit about his paintings?
We're standing in front of one of Jeremy's paintings that's got this exciting accidental element to it. You can see that he has a facility for bringing ideas out of a painting as it emerges. He describes himself as watching for the painting that's already there. I mean, most people would be inclined to think that you conceive the painting and then you produce it. But I think that many artists would agree with Jeremy that the painting already exists in some place or some form or other, and it's your job to cooperate with it and to enable it to exist. And I think with this painting in particular, Jeremy described its process.
What do you think about the colours that Jeremy uses?
I don't know whether people would describe Jeremy as an expressionist or whether Jeremy would or not, but he's got an astonishing facility with colour. My response to it is that he seems to be able to work with colours that you wouldn't immediately expect to be natural colours, hence the sort of sense of expressionism. But he has a way of working with them that gives it a real presence. You feel as though you're walking in front of something significant, and it's not just representing something else, it's got a being of its own, and his colours are very much Jeremy.
You mentioned in your opening speech that this painting should sell. Could you tell me why you think it's so special?
Yeah, well, I guess it's, first of all, it's my reaction to it, that you walk in through the door and there it is, and it's compositionally it works remarkably well, despite the fact that it seems to defy its own composition. For me, it's got a very similar feeling to the feeling I get when I look at a Chagall painting. Whether I'm detecting anything in the way that Jeremy is putting the paint on and Chagall is, I really don't know. But that's what sort of what affects me. That kind of spirituality about the work that again doesn't depend on being representational so much. I mean, it's figurative in that you can recognise that it's flowers, but it goes a long, long way beyond being flowers. And in there is a spirituality, a significance that I think anybody who walks away with this painting, it's going to unpack itself for years and years. They will find that the painting will become part of their lives and will continue to talk to them really for years to come. And even if you only take it on its most basic sort of bare value, it is beautiful painting, sensational colour. The composition is not cheap. It arises from a sophisticated artist who can deal with the elements in the painting without having to sort of to work his way mechanically through it. It happens naturally, springs to life all on its own, and that's the beauty of it, really. Sensational piece of work.
Thank you. Stay with us and we'll be back after the break with more of Jeremy's paintings. Welcome back to Gallery Watch. We're at Gallery 9x5 in Fremantle, which is holding an exhibition of paintings by Jeremy Holton. I'm with one of the gallery directors, Greg. How do you feel the exhibition is going tonight?
So far, very successful. Although not everyone has bought a painting, I think everyone has thoroughly enjoyed it, and hard not to. I think that the paintings are very colourful, very vibrant, and I think something for everybody too. Jeremy has such a broad range of subject matter and such a broad range of mediums too. So yeah, very hard not to enjoy it.
The gallery is fairly new to Fremantle. You've not been here very long?
That's right, we're almost 9 months old, so we're still somewhat anonymous to a lot of people, but and every day we're getting people coming into the gallery and finding us, which for them is hopefully a pleasant surprise. You know, we're going to work hard to build up that profile over the hopefully next few years.
So is this your biggest exhibition so far?
This seems to be the most amount of people we've had in the gallery. Our opening exhibition was probably on par with this, which is good, and it certainly is a credit to Jeremy's work that we're getting this for not just a grand opening, but we're getting this for an exhibition of one solo artist.
Can I ask the meaning of the gallery name, 9x5?
Yep, sure. The name's taken from the 9x5 exhibition. I think it was in 1889, which was the Heidelberg School when all the Impressionist artists came to Australia, and they hosted a 9x5 inch size exhibition. All the works were 9 inches by 5 inches. The reason for the size was probably because all the work was painted onto cigar box lids, which gave them the 9 inch by 5 inch size. An interesting exhibition and a defining one in Australia's art culture, I think.
And what are your plans for the gallery in the future?
Move forward and get past this anonymous phase. We'd like to host more exhibitions. We're slowly building up our stable of artists, and we believe in high quality work, and we're very, very fussy about the artists that we take on.
Thank you very much for talking to us. I'm here with Jeremy the artist. Jeremy, can you tell me a little bit about this painting?
It was based on a photograph, so I'm not actually sure what the flowers are, but what I wanted was something that obviously had very strong colour and large blossoms, but most importantly I wanted to create a sense of depth through the darkness, the contrast between the darkness behind the stems. So I made it much stronger than the original photograph by creating that depth. I work on several different series in parallel, and I do some which are very realistic or super realistic, and some which are very impressionistic, I suppose.
So the style of painting reflects your mood as opposed to the subject that you're painting?
I choose subject matter that goes with what I want to paint at the time. I work on paintings. When I'm painting, I hate what I'm working on. I really just like it intensely, and so I want sheer desperation. I say I don't like that, but I'll try something else. So I go from one thing to another. So in a sense, it's a sort of insecurity that drives me forward.
This is different again. This is quite bold, and obviously it's figures. Why did you choose to paint this picture?
Well, this is what I call my Fat Lady series. I wanted to paint a painting of a figure with flowers. They all have patterns, so you'll see they have the flowers create a pattern, and you'll have a landscape in the background. So it's all really about pattern more than anything else. But also there's a story. They've all got large ladies and very small men, which is very appropriate, don't you think?
You say so. Can you tell me a bit about this painting?
Quite realistic figures with a lot of movement. You have the man being groomed by two ladies, and I guess there's a tension and ambiguity as to whether they're grooming him or whether they're attacking him, or exactly what the relationship is. And that's just how the paintings work out.
Is there a significance to the window having bars?
But there are bars, and there's also he's apparently reaching for a bottle, possibly, I don't know. It's the male condition, I suppose.
Okay, so let's go on to one of your landscapes. Now this is completely different because this is more vibrant and there's a lot more oil on the canvas. It's more textured. Is that because of the way you were feeling?
I drag the paint over and scratch into it. You can see I scratched into it. Really like to sort of work with the paint and make it do interesting things, sort of almost tactile. And it's earth. Well, it's the narrows more or less, possibly.
And this also doesn't have as much colour. Is there a reason?
I'm known for my colour, and sometimes I want to do something different which has not got colour. So this one doesn't have colour.
Now this painting here, how have you done this? Is it painting? Is it pastels?
It's actually all pastel. This one was a demonstration I did for Artist Palette magazine. And this is a technique I developed some years ago, and I still do, but it's not my main technique at the moment. What I do is it's on watercolour paper. I sketch the image in, and then I use a bamboo, what they call a reed pen, which is a bit of bamboo cut on the end. You produce a very crude image, so you can't get tight with it because it has to be crude. I actually teach this method because it's very good for beginners because you can't be tight. And then I colour it in with oil pastel, and I often layer it. So I might put the yellow and then put red on top, and then I destroy the whole thing. So I cover it all, I put it on the ground, and I cover it all with a pigmented ink, and so you can't see anything. It's just a mess. You might see some brush strokes here somewhere from that. Then, having destroyed it, I let it dry, and then I scrape back with a palette knife and discover it again, like unearthing a fossil. It's sort of, you keep scraping, and maybe I use some more pastel and I work back into it until I gradually develop the image. And for teaching, it's a very good technique because it teaches people not only to be loose, but also to destroy, not to be precious, to destroy their work. It takes a lot of courage to work hard on a painting, then cover it with ink and destroy it. Most beginners get that the colours clashing and jarring are actually pulled together by the ink itself.
And can you tell me where this is?
It's actually a photograph I took. I work for photographs for most of the time nowadays. I took a few years ago at the Swan Valley. It's basically the way I work nowadays. I always do a thumbnail sketch first because it's interesting. If you do a thumbnail sketch, you get to the essence of the image, and I work off the sketch, not the original. So I've got the photograph, I work off the sketch, and then for detail I work back off the photograph again.
Now Jeremy, this painting is completely different because it's a ship and the exhibition is called Flowers for Freo. Can you explain why this painting is part of the exhibition?
Well, the ship is like an enormous flower really, isn't it? These paintings were influenced originally by John Percival. Percival has these wonderful big shapes in his paintings and the movement in the sea. I've done a whole series of paintings of boats, often with buildings in the background, but it's childlike, as you can see, and the childlike it gives it great strength. The simpler a painting is, the more childlike it is, the stronger the painting is really. But you can see within it there's a lot of glazing. This is actually ink used over acrylic and then glazed with oil glazes. So it's heavily glazed, it gives it that great sense of depth. You can see, like here, you can see it's ink and glazing over the top, so you get very complicated patterns. And so as you get close in, you can see, as Bob was saying, you can get very interesting abstract effects, and then you move away and you'll see the whole image. It's childlike. I love childlike painting.
What are you planning for the future? Are you working on some paintings now?
Yeah, I'm working on a series based on Tim Winton's Cloud Street. At least I've done a couple of paintings because Cloud Street to me is absolutely Perth. I love Perth, and I want to do some paintings. I used to do a lot of landscape paintings of Perth. I want the paintings are figures within a landscape, and they're inspired by the book, but they're moving a long way away from the book really. I want to do a series on the Pilbara. I haven't done the Pilbara for a long time. I had an exhibition of Pilbara a few years ago, and I might do another nude. I do these nude paintings as well, so I might do some nude paintings as well. So there's a lot of things I want to do. It's a question of time.
And that will be a new exhibition in the future?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Everybody loves this painting here. Can you just tell me a few words about how you came to paint it, what inspired you, and the technique that you used?
I didn't have an inspiration, I just wanted to do it. And I struggled with it, as always, and I felt my way into it. It's with these paintings I work upside down, I turn them around in all directions, I use a mirror, I walk backwards and forwards the whole time, and I feel my way into it. The painting tells me what to do. I don't know. It controls me. I don't control it. The trick is to learn to feel what you should do and then do it. So I drag paint. You can see I drag paint over, like here. I drag over and then I glaze into it, and I just repeatedly go over and over again. So I won't like that. So I'll put some dark in here and light here. So I'll drag paint across here. And then if I don't like that, I'll drag some colour in, then I'll glaze over the top. I just keep working backwards and forwards, over and over. And I don't know what I'm doing, I don't know why I'm doing, I just do it. Because most artists will tell you this, the painting tells me what to do, I don't really control it. I just feel my way to it. And that's the only way, well, for this sort of art anyhow, it's the only way to do it, because it's very intuitive, it's not contrived really, it just happens on its own.
But you can't have done this one from a photograph.
I started off with a photograph, I think. I started off with some ideas of how I wanted to do it. What's interesting to me is looking at it later on is that actually it's quite a low. It's as though you're down here looking up on the blossoms, as though you're an insect or a fairy or something down the bottom here looking up on this world. So it's a landscape. So it's not, in a sense, it's not just a flower painting. It's also a landscape. So you're looking over a landscape.
Thank you very much, Jeremy. Thank you. Well, that's all we have time for tonight at Gallery Watch. My name is Angela, but join us again next week at the same time, same channel, but a different exhibition.